QMR.
Not a thing. Not a thing. Right, time for an exclusive interview I've done this week then. This is 30 minutes long, so you can turn your speakers up a little bit loud and go and make yourself a cup of tea as well while you listen to this. While you are listening to this, check out their website of this band. It's weareapartment.com. Weareapartment.com. Their brand new single is coming out October the 16th, which I'll play at the end of the interview in about 20 minutes' time. It's called 10,000 Times. That's absolutely fantastic. I went down to the waterfront in Norwich, to interview Apartment. We interviewed Liam and David. They talk about the new single, the new album, and their fans. I've come down to the waterfront to meet Apartment. This is David. Hello, David.
Hello, Ross. How are you, man?
Not too bad. How are you?
Good. It's good to be here.
Sorry. And this is Liam.
Hello, how you doing?
Not too bad. Is this your first time in Norwich?
No, it's our third time in Norwich. We played here with Jimmy Eat World, supporting Jimmy Eat World, and then we played UEA. It was a party. We played there.
It's our first time in the centre of Norwich. So we've normally been outside in the outskirts. So
have you seen our magnificent castle as you went past?
Well, yeah, we saw it in the distance. We basked in its beauty.
Yeah. My flatmate's from Norwich, so it's good to hear the Norwich accent for once, because he's constantly imitating it. So I've been waiting for 4 years to hear it, so it's good to hear.
I do get very slagged off because I have got a very, very broad Norfolk accent, I'll tell you. And that's good. You've got to share where you're from, haven't you? Your brand new single's coming out on Monday, October the 2nd. Is that correct? Can you tell us all about your new single?
16th. October 16th. Yeah, 10,000 Times. It's coming out on Monday, and hopefully a few people buy it. It's a release that we're doing on our own label as well. It comes in various formats. We shot the video like about a month ago, didn't we? Yeah, a month ago, and yeah, so we're really excited about that. It's our sort of first major release, really. All the releases that we've done up until now have always been limited release. We did 2 releases with Fierce Panda, and we've done one EP with our label and a 7-inch vinyl with our label last month called My Brother Chris. So yeah, this is a sort of a first sort of proper outing for as far as singles is concerned for our band.
Can you tell us about the single for anyone who hasn't seen it quite yet? Because it's very colourful. I watched it this afternoon.
Okay.
You mean a video?
Yeah. So yeah, it's based on a sort of a story where we all impersonate certain characters, and to cut a long story short, Liam is a disgraced politician, and the rest of the band is a crew, a news crew that follows him around and tries to expose him. So it starts from in Parliament Square in Westminster and slowly builds up to his flat in Pimlico, where we chase him with cars, and we end up getting up to his flat, and where there's a lot of naked women and champagne, and I think it's very tongue in cheek. It's we end up joining him in the party, really. So if you can't beat him, sort of join him.
The song is a kind of slightly tongue in cheek, political kind of raise to arms call. People kind of getting out in the streets and protesting against something, but it's slightly tongue in cheek. So the video is tongue in cheek as well.
Whose idea was the videos then?
It was the guy who directed it. This guy called Wayne Yip. He's Dragon Punch, and it's pretty much his idea, and I think David's as well.
No, I mean it's I think, and everybody got carried away with the naked women. So our management got carried away with the naked women mainly. We were pretty excited to sort of, for the first time, put on a sort of alter ego, which was great fun. Liam turns out to be a very good actor, actually, and so any pilots out there, we have. You should contact us, because
no, it was really good fun, actually. I mean, it was filmed on the hottest day of the year, and I was wearing a pinstripe suit and like full politician regalia, which was quite interesting. I ended up pulling a whole bottle of champagne all over myself. There's still like 4 hours of filming to go, so it was quite fun. But yeah, like David said, the whole acting part was something we hadn't had a chance to do before. You know, like all our videos, we've done 4 videos, they've all been quite different. But this is the first time we've done a kind of story where it was acted out, so that was really cool. It was good fun to do.
Yeah, for anyone who doesn't know, this isn't your first single. Can you tell us about the last 3 singles you've brought out?
Our very first single was last year, a song called Everyone Says I'm Paranoid, and we followed that up with a song called Patience is Proving. After which we did various tours and started setting up our label and recorded the album. And then we released a split EP on our label with a band called The Far Cries. It was called I'll Play With Yours If You Play With Mine EP. And then we released My Brother Chris, limited release on 7-inch on blue vinyl last month. And now we've got 10,000 Times, which is our sort of... it's one of the sort of newer songs that we wrote before going into studio and recording the album.
Am I right in believing My Brother Chris has some connection with Boy Kill Boy?
Well, yeah, My Brother Chris is a song about the singer of Boy Kill Boy, Chris, who's a very good friend of ours. He's a particularly close friend of mine, and we've been there for each other for a very long time now, and through the thick and thin. And it was basically about that. It's about friendship. You know, it's a lot of people think he's my brother because as you know, the song's called My Brother Chris, but he's far from that. He's more like a soul brother, which is far more important. You get to choose those, you know. You don't get to choose who your family is, I suppose, sometimes. Not to say that my family's crap, but I love them very dearly, if you're listening.
Watch where you go then.
But yeah, no, My Brother Chris was about needing a friend in order to sort of, you know, when you support a friend in a way, you sort of helping yourself as well. The words of encouragement that you give to those people sort of resonate, and a lot of the time it's therapeutic towards yourself as well to sort of give support. And Chris went through some hardships, just like we all do, and like he was there for me, I was there for him, and it chronicles that, really. That's what our songs are about, really. They're just little windows and little pockets of inspiration that we try and paint as for people, with the various influences that we have and the various musical aspirations that we have. So every time we write a song, not only we're trying to break the next boundary of sound or groove or sort of performance that we have, but also express a little concept, and sometimes it's a very intimate concept, like My Brother Chris, and while with 10,000 Times is a much sort of broader concept of observation, really, which is a first for us. We've started doing it more and more now. We're sort of looking more at in the outside and the inside. And then we see a lot of things that are funny and wrong, and you know we're slightly cynical about certain things, and the way that we do it, we write songs about it, and we try and express it in the way that we know best.
Can you tell us all about the new album?
The new album comes out. It comes out in January. It's called The Dreamer Evasive, and we're extremely proud of our debut album. You close fans will be able to buy it before January on a limited edition, because they've been waiting for a little bit now. So just to sort of calm the waters, we've decided to sort of customize a few copies and give them out to the people that have supported us these last 2 years, but the general release will be in January, and it's all done, pressed, recorded, mastered.
Ready. I mean, it's amazing. Obviously, for us, it's the first time we've made an album, and you kind of, when you're a band, you're kind of building up to that point, really. Of, singles are just an indication of to people of what you might be, what you kind of about. But an album is when you get a chance to kind of really showcase everything that you're about and sum it up in a way. So making the album was like incredible for us, and the whole journey of making the album, I think, was really quite strengthening for everybody involved in the band.
It was an eye opener because we always maybe thought that, we always thought that certain bands. Well, we've always read that certain bands, when they get in studio, they sort of don't get on, and we're quite strong. We've got quite strong characters in this band, but it was pretty smooth sailing, actually, because I think we had quite a bit of time to sort of build up to it. It's our debut release, but as a band we're very prolific, and since the conception of this band 3 years ago, we've written over 50-60 songs, and in a way it's like this album is a collection of a concept of what the last 3 years of our lives have been, and just down to the title, it sort of explains it for us. There's a mixture of older songs with pretty songs that were made in studio. So you'll have you have a song like Everyone Says I'm Paranoid, which is quite it's a sort of apartment staple diet, and then there's another song called Ghost of an Unforgivable Past, which was pretty much recorded and written in studio. Liam's idea, bass lines, go in studio, lay down a drum beat, stick on some keyboards, stick on some bass, and at the end, write some lyrics, get some melodies.
There were no real sort of concrete vocal part to that song at all until right at the last minute, and then we all kind of f***ed off for a couple of days. And we came back in, and David had done these amazing vocals. It was just incredible to hear that. When you haven't written it, when you come back in and it's done, that's something that was totally new to us, because we've been playing. Normally we rehearse and write songs in studio and at rehearsal studio, and that you play songs and you go out and play them live, and you get so used to playing them hundreds of times, and then there's a lot of those songs on the album, but there's the odd track which has just kind of happened in the studio, which is really special.
We'll be back with Apartment very shortly after we hear from one of their older tracks. This is June, July.
You don't need to be alone. Your bride, she's waiting for you to walk into her life. Right, you're resting. So if you're willing, just try it. So if you're willing, just try it. Because you're willing, just try it. Because you're willing, just try it on your own. It's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way. That's the only way. You're the only way. You're my only wait for now. Divided, what a step would do today. You hide with caution if you don't want to be awake. Your loved ones are waiting for you to step into your life. It's been tried, tested, contested. So if you're willing, just try it. So if you're willing, just try it. Because you're willing, just try it. Because you're willing, just try it. You're gonna win it, just try. That's the secret. You're gonna win it, just try. That's the secret. Because you're willing, just try. That's the secret. Because you're willing, just try. That's the secret. That's the way, that's the way, let the way go, let the way go, that's the way, that's the way, let the way go, let the way go, that's the way, that's the way, that's the way, that's the way, let the way go, let the way go, let the way go, let the way go, because you're living, just try it, your mama said I like try it, you're gonna win it, just try, that's a secret, you're gonna win it, just try.
Have you got a favourite track of the album each?
Changes from day to day.
Yeah.
Changes from day to day.
It's It's weird because our album is very much an album of two halves. There's the first half, which is very much like the singles and sort of the light-hearted Apartment, and then there's the second half starts becoming much more experimental. We even wanted to, there's longer outros, there's intros, there's sort of My Bloody Valentine moments of just shoegazy noise, and so there's the album really sort of showcases like the concise songwriting of a 3.5-minute song, pop song in some cases, and at the same time the yearning for sort of sonic evolution and sort of biting into the apple when it comes to expressing yourself musically in an abstract way. So yeah, I think as an album it flows well, but you can also listen to it in two halves, which is like the old LPs. You had side A and side B, and I think this album has that. Obviously we're in the age of iTunes, so it's pretty different now, but I don't think there's any harm in looking at it in a sort of puritanical way as well, and that's the way that I look at it, because it's the way that I was brought up. I was brought up on, listening to Van Morrison, for example. If you listen to Astral Weeks, he does name the album in two halves, and there's a sort of there's a night and day to the album, and I think there's a sort of same little concept underlying in the album. There's lots of like hidden things and hidden vocals and hidden little sounds. I mean, it's quite layered at times. It's quite rich but never being overproduced. It's like we're very happy with it, very very proud of it, and right now we're really concentrating on writing the next album. We've already got 3 new songs that we're working on, and hopefully within in the next 6 months we'll be back in studio and recording that one, so that we can pretty much follow one after the other from now on, so that we can keep on just exploring. I don't think bands should just release one album and do 2 years of touring. I mean, because their labels obviously want to squeeze every little bit of life out of anything. I just believe that a band should be free and just be on their voyage, and everybody should be there to be able to listen to it if they wanted to.
And also, this album is being released on our own record label, so we've got the freedom to release things kind of when and how we want, and I think that could be quite beneficial for us in the future, in terms of we don't have to like write a bunch of songs, then put it on an album and release it, and then like David said, do 2 years of touring, write another bunch of songs, put it on an album, release it. I think we're all quite up for being a bit more experimental. For example, if we write new songs now that are maybe a bit different, we can release those, and we don't have to be so kind of industry minded about it, which is important.
And it was quite hard to attain for us in the same way, because we obviously when a band's sort of looking for getting signed and all that, there's the different options, and we really knew from the very beginning what we wanted, and it took us quite some time to actually achieve what we wanted, because we wanted the freedom and as well the sort of the everything in place so that we can do it properly. I mean, it's in no way Fleet Street Records is a Mickey Mouse record label. We're releasing other bands on it, we're releasing vinyls on it, we're releasing dance projects on it, we're releasing remixes on it, we're going to be releasing side projects on it. We're constantly looking for new bands to release on our label as well, so be a little platform for new music, as well as retain our own sort of be empowered by what we do, and keep the economies of scale at a proper level, because I think a lot of bands make that mistake. They sort of overshoot massively and kill their career. We sort of tend to say, well, if it has to blow out of proportion, then brilliant, but let's make sure that we have a career first, rather than just spunk it all on one.
Strippers and champagne.
Yeah,
we've done that already.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But that was just for the purpose of a video. We're very different from that.
How do you see yourself in 1 year from now then?
We see ourselves as a hard-working touring band that has a second album out and about to come out, and just keep on that track, really.
I mean, hopefully we'll have toured lots. You know, we love playing live. We absolutely love it, and so hopefully we'll get to, you know, I mean, the dream is to play your music to as many people as possible, isn't it? So that's what we want to do. We want to go out there and play it to as many people as possible.
And I've heard you've got a very, very loyal fan base. Is that correct?
Absolutely. I mean, we've got some people following us around the country right now. They've been coming to every show. I mean, because once we're out of London, there is a certain number of guest lists that we can attain. So London always seems to be like full of people, but it's when we're out of London, it's great because we know they contact us and we know them because they've been following us for over a year now, and it's like, well, you know, they just follow us around, stay in a hotel, come to the show, have a good time, you know, love the Delays, Eddie Temple Morris. We're also doing little after shows in certain cities where we go to another venue and we do an acoustic show, and we did this in we did it in Stoke, and we invited My Luminaries with us, which were supporting the Delays as well, and a load of people came down, and it just became a big jam, a big sort of let's dance, let's have a good time, and it's sort of a real spirit of sort of 1960s camaraderie, which is really sort of dead now. Everybody gets up and plays their tunes, and nobody wants to experiment anymore. I mean, we got up on stage and we played like skeletons of ideas that we had, and just jammed them. It was absolutely brilliant, and for that I think it takes a bit of gall and a bit of balls, and that's what really we aspire to have and to sort of display.
And not to be too one-dimensional. That's like we're learning to be more expansive, I think, with our music, and to explore different avenues. And we're quite a strange band in a way, because we do have quite a strange variety of songs, but you kind of
play two totally different sets if we want. We can, yeah.
As a band involved in the music industry, you kind of lots of bands have that hammered out of them, I think, because it doesn't kind of fit in with market, with the marketplace and trying to sell yourself as a band, being too diverse. So we can sort of say you to that, because we can just get on with it and be as diverse as we want, and that's really that's important.
And it's great, talking about the people who follow us around every night. They come to see us, and we keep them on their toes. We can play a really rocky upset, sort of really happy sort of party sort of songs, and then we can play a totally dark and shoegazy sort of set as well. We've got 15 songs that we take around the country with us right now at this moment in time, that we revolve. The sets sort of change every night, and 2 nights they could be two totally different songs. I mean, and I think that's really brilliant. When people used to follow a band like the Grateful Dead around, or Fish, or things like that, they never got the same set. I really, the bands that are sort of quite what's the word? They've got 6 songs, and they're all that's exactly what they'll play, and they'll play exactly the same way every night. It's like buying the CD. That's not really live music, and that's not really being.
And we also do different versions of our songs. It's just like we try and make the live experience a little bit different, basically, than what you'd hear on a single or an album. Because it's a totally different medium, and you can you can explore a different side of yourselves live than when you're in the studio. So we try and do that. We've got for example, we've got different versions of the song. Everyone says I'm paranoid, so we'll just chop and change according to how we feel on the night.
And also songs like Fall Into Place, we do sort of alternative, sort of sing-along versions, and some songs are with keyboards. Some songs, the same song in another version can be without keyboards. We do outros to certain songs that we sometimes do, sometimes we don't. We do the same outro on other songs. It's just like totally just down to the moment. We try and keep it fresh for ourselves, because I think that, you know, when you see a band on stage really enjoying themselves and really trying to be a vehicle and a conduit towards what they want to say, that's when I think that's when you attain something that is valuable, rather than just, you know, stick on play, you know, every night to play the same thing. That bores me to death, and that's just not the way that, luckily, this band works. So yeah, that's also because people follow us around, and we'd be like, I'd feel really crap if every night we'd play the same thing at the same little surprise outro, or the same little, you know. Ask them, they know. Because it's weird, because with Apartment you can always, or with us you can always, so you can judge us on a single, right? And our singles are pretty different. So it's like this. I mean, I like to think that our band is, you know, not one-dimensional at all. It's very layered in with the ideas and the directions, and there's you know under the same umbrella of Apartment. There's definitely a sound to what we do, but you know, we sort of really explore, and so, you know, if an audience comes to see us one night and we've decided to play one type of set, they might they typecast us as that sort of band. But I love the fact that they might come and see another gig by pure chance, because they probably hated it, and we do a totally different set and they love it. So that's when bands really amaze people. I think that's when bands sort of make people sort of ears prick up and listen when you don't know what to expect from them.
That was me talking to the fantastic new band Apartment. Their album is coming out in January. You can also check out their website, weareapartment.com, and this is their brand new single coming out on the 16th of October. Apartment, 10,000 Times.
Hi, I'm Liam from Apartment.
And I'm David from Apartment.
And you're listening to 10,000 Times. It's our new single. It's coming out on Monday the 16th of October.
Politicians with their bitches, like their girlfriends in hotels. All the riches are like crutches to defend the ones that fell. One day I'll be 40, now but cokey, wishing I did something then. Wishing I did something then. We will go out on the city streets, flying the flag for mutiny, etc., etc. We will go out on the city streets, flying the flag for mutiny, etc., etc. In the Commons, when they're joking, don't you know it's at your expense? It's the gallows on the brother at the cost of someone else. Someday they'll be sorry, 'cause it's funny, and we'll show our dissent, and we'll show them our dissent. We will go out on the city streets, flying the flag for mutiny, etc., etc. We will go out on the city streets, flying the flag for mutiny, etc., etc. city streets, flying the flag for mutiny, etc., etc. We will go out on the city streets, flying the flag for mutiny, etc., etc.
How good is that? 10,000 times brand new tune from Apartment.
Brand new.
It's coming out Monday, 16th of October. Another couple of weeks to go if you fancy a bit of that. Very, very good indeed. And go to youtube.com, type in Apartment 10,000 times in the search box and you'll get their video. Very, very funny indeed. Also got a brand new album coming out in January, the first day of January, 1st of January. I will not want to be them going out promoting that on the 1st of January. I think Roscoe will have a little bit of a headache. I'll be sticking that interview on my MySpace website if you fancy checking it out. myspace.com/Ross Patzelt. That'll be up there again tomorrow. And of course, you can again listen again to the show if you want. If you just tuned in halfway through the interview and you missed some of it, you can listen again as from tomorrow morning simply by going to qmr.fm. And yes, Andy, who just emailed me, he was saying, was that a bit of buzzing in the background? That wasn't my MP3 recording Rover microphone thingy, Bob. That was the fridge. Yes, all this technology in the world, you're trying to get a nice clear interview and the fridge is buzzing away in the background. So that wasn't me, that was the fridge. Let me know what you think about that band, please. Ross.Patzelt at qmr.fm and I'll tell the band themselves. Back in just a mo with a brand new tune from the Kooks.